Hey guys, so in my last video, I was just talking about the potential for life being found in our solar system and outside of our solar system, and just the nitty-gritty details about each of the moons that we think life is on, and what we're doing to find out. Not only moons, Mars as well. But yeah, what we're doing to find out. And I also mentioned the Drake equation, which would be really good to watch about this, because it really covers everything you'd want to know about the probability of life existing. And another interesting thing to note, of course, is SETI. SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. It still exists. You can even download their, what's it called again? I think it's called cloud computing. Basically, you download a program and you help them go through all this data, and in their case, radio waves, to try to discern whether or not there is some kind of intelligible signal within the data. So there have been very interesting things that have come up, a handful at most, but still very interesting. What we're looking for with SETI, I guess I'll go into this now. SETI is listening for primary numbers, because primary numbers are a very rare occurrence in the universe. Basically, the only ones that really come up are our signals. So we're thinking that if an intelligent life wanted to let people know they were out there, would be to use something that we would take notice, which would be primary numbers. This is implying that they would understand our mathematics, and that mathematics has some kind of more universal conceptualization. So yeah, primary numbers are what we're looking for, and there's been a handful of signals that we think may be something. They're not ultimately conclusive. If we expanded the project, that'd be great, but SETI is probably not the direction that we're taking. We're taking a more indirect approach. That's fine. We're looking through telescopes and trying to find probabilities, whether or not life exists on other planets, and that's good too. Interesting thing to note at the moment with the Kepler telescope, that even though it's looking for Earth-like planets, most of the planets we found, the 330, 360 or so, or however much, are mostly gas giants, very big gas giants, super gas giants. I think they call them super Jupiters or something like that. I don't know. But basically what they are, they're just giant Jupiter-like planets, many of them orbiting very close to their star. And this is not a very good place for life to exist. But that doesn't mean that there are not other planets in the solar systems that we haven't been able to detect that have life, or have greater chances of life arising. This is just really a problem of us not having enough technology to give an accurate description of what a typical solar system looks like. Are they more like ours, or do they just have one planet with a gas giant floating around it? Then yeah, if most of the solar system is like that, then there's not going to be life, very commonly. But if they're more like us, maybe life is abundant, and it's only a matter of discovering the right instruments to discern this, and then all of a sudden we may find ourselves in a galaxy teeming with potential life. So, very interesting. Now, the search for life in the galaxy has a few philosophical and religious implications. First and foremost, I guess you could say, would be what's that going to do to our religions and our belief systems? Suddenly, the human race is not the center of everything anymore. Suddenly, we got somebody else out there wondering the same thing. I'm pretty sure that the religions that our religions will either evolve or become more dated. I'm pretty sure religion will exist in the future, but it will be much more cosmocentric. It'll be much more. They'll be keeping other races in mind. Now, immediately, what comes to mind actually are actually a Buddhist belief, Buddhist cosmology. I mean, at least in Tibetan Buddhist cosmology, there are thousands of worlds out there that have sentient beings, and of course, they saw those sentient beings as human, but still, very interesting. There are worlds out there with other life forms that all go through samsara and all that, and we may find some kind of connection that way. I don't know. It's very hard to predict the future of religion. Certainly, the impact would be very profound, somewhat chaotic. A lot of people would probably very strongly react to the discovery of life out there. Not always in positive ways, of course. And I don't necessarily think we'll be sending missionaries to life forms. And I don't know if that would be a good signal to send out for SETI to broadcast the Bible to the universe. Although that would be quite a interesting idea for a story, broadcasting the Bible out to the galaxy. Um, Genesis. God said, "Let there be light." Well, that'd be a very interesting thing if you were at the other end of the galaxy and, 200 million years, you get this message. There's an alien race out there. Maybe we would be somehow related to their birth cosmology. Wouldn't that be interesting? Religion permeating one solar system to another. I mean, we have, one continent to another here, and one culture, but now another race? That'd be interesting too. But that's probably very far out into the future. So I guess I'm going to conclude, because I don't know where else to take this at the moment. I thought I had more ideas, but whatever. So in conclusion, we're finding a lot about life, the nature of life, and its future, well, more like our future, and whether or not life is abundant in the universe. This is a big question that will probably be answered, hopefully be answered, in this century. So it's a great time to be alive. A lot of interesting things are happening already. And there are many interesting places in the solar system where life could arise, and possibly outside the solar system, that may only be 10, 17 light years away. And I will conclude with that. For those of you who have not listened to Carl Sagan, I really recommend. He's a great optimist about this, realistic optimist. And I will end here. And if I think of what I was thinking of before, then I'll post another little mini video series or whatever about it. Thanks for listening.